Clash of Clans podcast, episode 55. All right, we're the Clash of Clans, and the fans, and the stands in the clans. I'm your pal, Biggity Boneyard. I'm here with my pal, Scotty.
Hey.
Scotty, what's happening? We're also here with, joined by us is the beautiful Lady Boneyard.
Backup vocals.
Hi.
One vocal. And we got Boaz on the line. Hey, buddy.
Hello.
So we have the epic war.
The miracle matchup.
And Boneyard has been just talking shit for the last episode.
Oh, and you know that Jungle Insider, my man Boaz, is also going to rip your ass.
House of Zod represent.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
We'll see.
It's happening. It's happening, man.
We'll see.
You want to be part of the House of Zod? You should, because stand with Zod and watch others kneel before you.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. Boaz is right there with me. Like, look at these motherfuckers kneeling.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of kneeling going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what. You are.
So, yeah. Boaz, were you surprised?
Yeah,
should just
I was
say,
shocked.
if you just listened to this episode
Oh,
for
yeah.
the first time.
We're starting out here. We're the Clash of Clans Studio, podcast.com, and blah, blah, blah. We're talking about House of El and the House of Zod have been matched up. The two podcast clans have been matched up. It's crazy. We're just going to jump right into it because we were talking about last episode. But it's nuts. It happened. Boy, that's crazy, right?
I actually got a text, or I guess maybe a group me message from one of my clanmates, Go Heat 3, who's also JT in the House of Zod, and he said, "Did you see what happened?" And I was like, "Huh?" And then I saw a text from Scotty that said, "Did you see what happened?" Something like that, and I logged on and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, and then I saw Scotty's text and said, "Yes, this happened."
You probably haven't heard it yet, but I put up episode 53 finally today, and it was called The Foretelling, because Boaz starts off by saying, "Wouldn't it be cool if House of El and House of Zod started?" And Lady Boneyard said, "Oh, what a shit show that would be!" And
the shit show has begun.
Yeah, and if you
the whole last episode was shit show, and now another one because you guys are gonna die.
It's 3 against 1.
It's basically
in real life.
It's basically been like, we'd love to be talking strategy right now, but we can't.
Yeah, that's much less important than talking shit.
Here's the funny part. Scotty started off talking. I was like, "Yeah, let's talk strategy," and he talked about all of his strategy. And of course, I was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to tell you anything. I don't want to tell you."
You told your clan everything.
Well, I did tell them.
Punch below the belt.
Yeah, I didn't tell you all of the things I was going to do.
To punch you below the belt.
Yeah, we were like, "Hey, well, Scott, here, boys, this is what Scotty says. Everybody should go straight across for one, and then maybe 2 on the next one. Like that's basically is like no.
Wait,
no,
for
no, no.
1 star?
Yeah.
No,
That's a good strategy, Scotty. Just 1 star, all of us. We'll 3-star you guys.
Yeah,
We'll
right.
see who
That's
wins.
and that's exactly what I said. But I was like, "Oh, that's a really good strategy.
That's brilliant.
You guys should just immediately attack the guy straight across, or even 1 up from you.
Maybe like 10 up.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
everyone go for the number 1 guy.
Yeah,
probably.
push it, really push it,
Yeah.
and try to
Challenge yourself.
Yeah, right.
right. Yeah, I see how. You just wait. Just
But
watch. I'm not going to give away the other part of my strategy. Because
You didn't get any of mine. Part of my strategy was telling you the strategy that I told you, which is not even true.
Yeah. So.
Well, it was 3 hours ago. Sorry.
So So I'm. There's the other part of my strategy. Is I'm telling my entire clan to go for. Who they can, go straight across and go for the 2 stars, at least 2 stars.
And that way, all the people higher up in them have to waste an attack to get the 3rd star. That's a great strategy. Mm-hmm. That's a solid plan, dude.
Yep.
Go for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have been having issues in the last couple wars, though, with all the lower people getting 3-starred, like the bottom 2/3 of the opposing clan getting 3-starred, and then like the lower people who have a bunch of attacks left have no one to attack because the only open stars are on the higher people.
Sure.
So we need to like do a little more higher people aiming higher or something.
We lost our last Duanzad. We talked about that last step. And it was a good matchup. I mean, they were good matchups, and we tried. And they were within 10 each of them, both of them, or within 5 on one of them.
Yeah, let me.
It was, and that was a bummer. But it was a good fight.
And we performed. I mean, getting over 90 stars in a 40-person
part of the team. Like I want to just talk shit about.
You're not part of our team. Our team.
Getting over 90 stars in a 40-person war is impressive. So they got more than us. So you got to give them props.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're also all active in whatever clan they're in. They're all trying and active. They all had good layouts. That was another thing is that I get 118 versus 9. That's fun, and you get a bunch of loot, but you're up against a bunch of people that don't think.
In our last
House of L was 84 to nothing.
Right, and people pushed
nothing.
It. People pushed it.
They didn't even attack once.
Yeah, they didn't attack once.
I think that our spy that got in their clan told us that they hadn't attacked once in 5 wars.
Right. So
why are they doing wars?
I don't know.
That's the question. I mean, they're just pushing the button to just give away loot. You think that even if you were...
I said Boneyard at 72 trophies would do that.
Well, it's kind of like maybe they're a farming clan, they're just pushing the button to have fun. Even if you were a farming clan, you would go for the losing war loot with a farming army down low. Mm-hmm. And it would pay for itself.
Yeah, you do a couple attacks at least, you get
the half war loot or whatever the percentage is, and it would pay for the looting. You wouldn't go in with all wizards and pekkas and golems and shit. You go for barbs and archers.
Because losing is not fun.
No.
In my opinion.
Yeah, it's going to be really sad for you guys.
Scott is going to have a big problem with losing. I'm probably not going to see him for like 2 weeks. He's going to be hiding in his basement crying. He's going to be crying his eyes out.
Yeah.
Well, I have a little issue. I've been max Town Hall 7 for a long time with the Jungle Insider account. And so Elixir hasn't mattered at all. So I've been doing like all dragon armies and just donating all sorts of dragons, and for all the war attacks just going in with a bunch of dragons and then a few other tactical troops. And so then when I got to Town Hall 8, like suddenly Elixir is so important. I have all these troops to upgrade and everything, and
you have to change your whole plan.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to do like a giant healer kind of thing or something. And so that worked for the first war, but now we've had 2 wars that were so close. Like each time I did an attack, we were within like 1 or 2 stars of the other clan. So I was like, well, I got to go with my best, So I ended up going with all drags in like 3 of the 4 attacks in the last wars too. So it's been setting me back a little bit. But like when it's
and you're not winning,
that neck
and because
neck,
we lost, you're not
that's
winning.
Advice.
That's a problem.
That's advice out there that I give to everybody out there, and which I've started to do is max out your air defenses. Like my Town Hall 7, I just hit Town Hall 7. I started maxing everything. I was going to start with started the mortar. Things are longer now at Town Hall 7.
Sure.
And
how many builders you got at Town Hall 7?
And the people kept getting
so 3 or 4.
Huh?
3 or 4.
But I'm like 800 gems,
yeah,
so I'm getting there. But the thing is that in the wars I'd get kicked, and then people would dragon me, and so I started. I'm going the people in the middle to get the low people will a lot of times dragon attack, and so if you're going to be in a war, upgrade your air defenses. I think those are the most boring, painful upgrades.
Well, they're really long.
They're really long,
but they're not terribly expensive. Like they've always been cheap.
There's
but
not like
so
tons.
Long.
There's not like a ton of instant gratification with them. it's like the mortars.
Yeah.
You see the mortars, and you see what the damage it does to the different troops, but you don't always get hit with air armies. But it's key because the big guys that can really take you out, especially with wars, they're going to come down with a dragon, with high-level dragons.
Hogs got nerfed a little bit, and Hogs were great for the first when the wars started. Hogs were the shit. Hogs had been the shit forever. Even when they knocked them down, I loved them.
Not when they
started out.
Not when they didn't go for defenses.
Yeah, when they didn't seek defenses, they weren't. Very great.
Way back when. Way back when. Yeah, once they did it.
Forever, Boneyard.
Forever
that means
ago.
Since the beginning.
Forever ago means there was a point in time when it started.
Like, we've had the interwebs for, like, forever, but we still don't know how to use them.
Series
I'm
of
getting
tubes.
mega hell on Minnesota Nice for not knowing what a modem and a router are.
Yeah, that happened right before you got up.
No,
You know what?
it's
Before
happening.
we started the podcast, Boneyard wouldn't have known that either.
No, I did. I used to actually work a floppy disk at one time. And when I talked about modem, it was a dial-up. Yeah.
So that's my advice is for low-level people. I'm going to bite it with Xaze.
So your advice is if you're in the House of Val, you should just quit.
No.
And
That's
not
good.
attack.
That's really sound advice.
That is a
actually,
good advice,
I would
so-
say.
And I'm wearing my House of L t-shirt.
You're wearing a
Boaz?
Superman, light blue Superman t-shirt.
Yes.
Blue.
Baby blue.
Almost periwinkle.
I was going to wear my black one, but...
Baby blue.
So...
You should have worn your black one. At least you would have been less not tough. I don't know what.
So anyways...
Wimpy.
Yeah, so anyways...
Hey, Scotty, I have a question. Scotty, I have a
The
question.
2 episodes where Boneyard just talked shit.
Would you gladly...
Well, wait, is that
Scotty,
every episode?
Scotty, wait. Would you gladly pay me Tuesday for a hamburger today?
I think you would.
Yeah, right? You would gladly pay me Tuesday for a hamburger today, right?
Well, you can
Wimpy,
see the
wimpy,
magic
wimpy.
of Town Hall 8. It's the first time I've actually rated while recording the podcast because there's so much I have to do on here. So
So do you wish you wouldn't have maxed out your Town Hall 7?
No,
definitely
no.
not. What kind of question is
Even
that?
though you
No.
had just elixir to burn and...
Oh yeah, that's fine. Elixir's shit. Elixir's
It's
Oh
fine.
my
just.
God.
I wipe
And
my
then
ass
once you
with
go up to
elixir.
Town Hall 8, it's a new problem. It's not a problem beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, I was maxed going up. You know, I had almost 4 million elixir going up. That's the best you can do, you know. But then I blew it on upgrading the drill a couple times and upgrading my lab. But I just saved up for level 5 archers. So
Very nice.
No, yeah, that's a good jump. Those guys are
Well,
good.
here's the
That's
here's
like
the
the
thing.
last time that it's actually really worthwhile to upgrade your archers. You go to level 6 because you have to.
Well, I don't know.
Remember the big debate
Oh,
about
yeah.
level 5?
Oh yeah, about giants
Yeah.
or archers.
And
Or
I've been
barbs,
doing
yeah,
it.
which one do? You do the archers last because the payoff is the worst.
But I think now, looking back, because I still followed the same formula. I did my giants, my barbs, and then I did my my archers are going to 4 now.
Yeah.
But it's at those medium levels when you want to donate that people don't want to take, level 3 archers.
Yeah, that's the thing is the archers are the one the troop you're most likely to donate to your clan mates. So by upgrading archers, you contribute overall to the clan more than any other.
That's a good
troop,
point.
besides,
You know
like,
what? That is a
dragons.
good point. I never thought about it. I do between archers and barbs. I use them both greatly, and I tend to give archers just because you're going to
it's
drop a
usually
clan
the
castle,
default.
and they are ranged. Like they're going to come in and dick around. They don't have to run in and just die at a wall. They're going to at least do a little bit of damage somehow.
Because they're versatile. So you send them in, no matter what somebody has, what kind of army they're using, you can usually use archers. Because they're not going to,
and even if
air,
like you have 5 archers in the rest of your clan castle has got some high troops, the archers are going to go in and meat shield something.
Yeah, definitely.
And
that's
or
what I always
from
do
range.
with my war castle. Make sure to have a whole bunch of archers in there. I'm not sure if we've talked about that before, having a whole bunch of archers before you get to the big stuff, so it's harder to
you know what? I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast, but it's definitely a thing that has been talked about. It's
Boaz and I talked about it on one of the special episodes about which comes out first out of the clan castle.
Yeah. The archers go pooping out. When you're trying to draw out that clan castle, and you're sending in like a hog to run into a defense so that they come out, and then all of a sudden you got to get 10 archers out of there. It takes a while.
Yeah.
And then you think you've got everything, and then there's like a couple wizards that are waiting in there, and then pop out.
Yeah. And then there's a witch there too. Shit.
Yeah.
And your hogs can't attack them.
And the witch pops out long after you're out of troops that aren't hogs.
Right.
But then, of course, hogs are kind of done as an attack.
I don't think so.
I just 3-starred a maxed out Town Hall 9 yesterday with hogs because this dumbass had his heroes on the outside of his base. Like, it was so, like, I just had to lure them.
That's happening all the time.
Yeah, people don't, well, they don't get it. It's not a thing.
Yeah, because
especially now.
This is the post-update, which has happened in the last week, is that they're tethered now.
Oh, I've seen some heroes just standing there watching my troops, just like some crappy barbs and archers just hitting some storage containers, and they're just standing there on the edge of their, just watching it happen.
As guards,
and then really, all I got to do is get like 20 more seconds of these guys burning that out, and it goes from 100,000 gold to no gold, and I got it all. And then they moved, and then they just turn they don't even move, they just turn and shoot at something else, and he's like, oh, hey, I better go over there and stop those guys. And I'm already ending battle because I got what I wanted.
Well, the thing is with a war base, though, if you put the heroes by the town hall, then they're going to engage. If someone wants to get a star by destroying the town hall, they're going to have to get
I've also discovered...
I love that you can't draw them out like that. That's a big thing.
Right.
It's really rough on the hog. I mean, it makes hogs so much worse, but now I've actually gotten pretty good at my go wipe.
I've got some really good attacks with hogs, even though the heroes have been inside, because if you can freeze them, the hogs will get past them, and they've got ways to go.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
So,
you can freeze the heroes?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So if you go in for the other day I went in and I was going for all this loot, and they had it in different corners, but I need elixir. So it was like a 400k elixir raid, and I had hogs. And so I went in to do the hogs.
Bud Light.
And I went in to do the hogs started going in, and this is at the beginning of the update, so you don't really know how the troops are acting, yet. With the heroes, like the tether has been so strange. And so my hogs were just about to go past, and they started engaging them, and I froze them, and they act just like if you freeze the clan castle troops when they come out, and if you've got wizards, your hogs can get a little bit farther away. If you get, you buy them a little bit of time, and so the troops come out, because like if you forget that wizard or that witch, if you can just get your hogs out of range, then you're fine.
Mm-hmm. Then it's going to be all the way till that's the only thing left, and the hogs will finally come back and attack them.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going for loot. If you're not going for loot, then...
If you're going for a win, it's a different battle.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So you can get away, you can get around the town hall, or at least clear the defenses, with the hogs still.
Boaz,
I think the hog squad is the next thing, where you send in the 5 hogs, at different places instead of hogging. You do hog squads where you're sending in.
I like that.
Small groups.
To tactically destroy individual defenses.
That's a big one for all air. The hog squad to take out some at least one or two of your air defenses. Usually, it's the ones on the other side of where you drop your dragons. You take out those air defenses, because you let the dragons come in with a rage or a heal and take out the air defenses that are on one corner, because you've got a whole bunch of them, and then you hog squad the air defenses on the opposite side. So once they get there, they don't start getting burned, because they got to go all the way across there to get that thing.
Yeah, That's exactly what I'm going to do in my war attack against the House of L. Not to give any spoilers here, but I'm going to need some level 6 balloons.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we'll see.
You said, boys, you said the goal wipe.
Yeah. So ever since the hogs started getting, well, really ever since the dawn of the anti-hog bases, I've been like, I need to figure out some other kind of attack. And I was doing I first tried the go wee wee a couple times, but I like as soon as there's no tank, like the wizards and witches just get destroyed because the skeletons just aren't enough tank to protect them.
No, and they can't be rejuvenated enough unless you have a bunch.
You have to have 3 at least.
Even unless you have a bunch of witches.
Yeah, and the thing is, so then it's such an expensive army, and especially like if I wanted to practice it and stuff, like I don't want to blow a whole bunch of dark elixir on all these witches and stuff.
I've spent $10,000 in the last day.
Oh yeah, me too.
That sucks because I'm trying
my prep day is I don't. I mean, I could have upgraded my king 3 times since I've joined the House of Zod because I've spent so much on witches and hogs.
Well, I just got my
constantly going.
I just got my max witches on my main account. I was a little behind on that, so now I've been able to donate those to the war castles and during the wars and everything. But so I decided to try Go Wipe because I'm constantly at over 7 million elixir on my Boaz account.
Sure.
And so I was like, well, elixir's useless. I might as well just get expensive elixir armies. So I tried it out where I had like 3 golems and then like 10 wizards, about 12 wall breakers, and a couple P.E.K.K.A.s. And then hogs to lure and stuff like that.
Crazy, like the slowest army ever, but just 3 minutes of destruction.
Well, no, it's really just for 2-star. Like I've never tried to 3-star with it. I go for a strong Town Hall 10, with multi infernos that I wouldn't be able to hog.
2-star is pretty much the best you can do.
Yeah, where it's a good, it's a good contribution to the clan to 2-star,
2 stars,
base like that. Yeah, and so all I need to do is make it to the town hall, and then usually by then I have over 40%, and I usually bring a few minions, archers, but definitely minions to get the last little bit of percent, because like once you've taken out archer towers and air defenses and stuff, there's a lot of times these exposed buildings that you can just drop a minion on each of these little buildings and get your 50% that way.
Sure.
And same thing with archers too.
They just spit on them for a while and
because I usually have like a minute and a half left after my main troops are dead, so I can just take my time taking this stuff out. But so it turned out, I think it's, at least for me, the Go Wipe was a lot easier than the Go Wee Wee. It was the P.E.K.K.A.s they're just more like they're not just going to get all of a sudden wiped out with one shot. Like you can lose a bunch of witches in like one mortar shot or something, and then your entire attack is over. And so I mean, if they get up by some maxed out Teslas, then they can really get fucked up really fast. So that's something you got to watch out for.
That's a rare thing.
Yeah.
Teslas aren't.
Well, now they're back though with the new 8s.
Have you seen them yet? I saw just on the upgrade. They look cool. They're way different than just a big coil. They got all this weird shit on them.
Really?
Yeah, they look kind of. When you press upgrade on one,
they're only 5 million.
Well, press upgrade on one and then look at the picture. You know what I mean? You can see it and it goes wang, wang. It looks like it's got like lasers or something. As far as I've had a lot of fun, really high level armies that go in for just destruction on other high level bases when I'm dumping my things that I'm brewing for war. Like I brew witches, wizards, and some archers for preparation day, so I can fill up my clan castles with a wizard and a bunch of a witch, a bunch of archers, a witch, a bunch of wizards, and some archers. I want at least 5 archers to come out so that, it takes a while, then some wizards, and then that witch comes out. But then all of a sudden, like, okay, now it's war day. Well, I got to dump these things so I can make hogs and wizards for war. And so I go in with, I've got 8, 9, 10 witches. You know what I mean? And then just a whole bitch load of wizards, and I'll just dump them all on the court. And I'm not really trying to win. I'm like, this guy has 200 of each, 200K of each, or maybe I'll look at 400K of each. Okay, I'm going to try this because it's a Town Hall 10 that's super like blocked up. Like it's going to be hard.
Mm-hmm. And usually when you're trying to dump, you're not going to be very patient.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm like, okay, I pick whatever corner because it's usually split up into 4 corners, like most high level guys have.
Right.
4 corners of 2 each, basically 2 storage containers each, one gold, 1 elixir in each corner, and I'll dump it on I won't dump it in a corner. I'll dump it on the side, so like it'll split into both corners. And I'll just dump everything. I'll like, okay, all the archers. Let's get these defenses, activated and looking at those. And then wizards, like here's 40 wizards. Here's 6 witches, and then immediately just king, queen, and then I just let them go out. Immediately I just put rage or hit the thing on the king and the queen, just so I can just dump them all there and be done with it. And then I'll watch it. I'm like, oh my God, these guys are really doing really good. I'm like, okay, well, I might actually get this. I'll put a heal here, a heal there, maybe a rage there. And then all of a sudden I realize, like, holy shit, I fucking 3-starred this guy. Like, I wasn't trying to. I was barely trying to 1-star. I wasn't even trying to star him at all. I just wanted some of the, there's no way I'm going to pay
Big shout out to Atiak for that.
I'm not going to pay for my army. There's no way I can pay for this army because it's so expensive because it's just stuff I didn't donate. But then all of a sudden they wipe it out, and I started thinking, man, I could have used this in war. Like, why?
Yeah, then that's a good practicing the go wee wee.
Well, I have a new plan. Like, I don't need to use all hogs in war anymore because they don't work anymore.
That's what I was talking about with the blunt force trauma.
I'm going to go 40 wizards with some heal spells. With a bunch of, and then like you're watching, like 2 minutes and 30 seconds later, there's still a bunch of freaking witches left over, just bursting little skeletons out of the ground. They get 8 skeletons when they're level 2, so there's 32 skeletons just coming out of the ground and running at some shit, and it dies, and and you can't even kill them all before something dies, and they just make some more. Like, that would be great to burn out War Clan, but it's so you can't make it worth it for looting. Mm-hmm. So I don't ever practice it I don't ever use it unless it's in war.
Okay.
And then when I'm making troops to donate for war, it's whizzes and hogs. I don't really make witches to give out because it's not really an offensive troop that people like to use or know how to use, especially low guys. I want to give them, when they got 20 spaces, I want to give them 4 hogs or 5 whizzes, not 1 witch, which is just going to die anyway because they'll get lured out and killed because they're not that great hit point wise. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to dump all these, and then I'm going to make an army that I can attack with. So I'm going in with 40 whizzes and 60 hogs, or maybe not that many. That's too many, but just a giant amount of hogs and wizards. And I'm like, holy shit! I just dump a bunch of wizards in an arc, and they start in on the mines and pumps, and then I dump all the hogs, and so the hogs go in and take out maybe half the base's defenses.
Okay,
maybe they get that far because I'm not wasting elixir on spells at this point. So they get in that far, but then these wizards come in the back end and just clean the fuck up. And so I really need to rethink my attacks on war clans and go with like giant whiz swarms with witch and hog backup. Or is it witch swarm with hog backup, or is it witch swarm with whiz backup?
That's a weird
hog
combination.
Swarms is out for me. Unless I'm going against some little guys, because it's not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
It used to be I could just clean up. Like,
well,
Minnesota Nice. When I was in Minnesota Nice, hogs were the shit. I mean, people started figuring out anti-hog bases, spreading shit out, putting spring traps between all your defenses.
But then you use the spring traps to your advantage. If you know where they are, then you play with that. That's why the hog squad I think is.
But sometimes you look at it, and you're like,
but then you have to be careful with spells too.
You're like, shit, I can't get in there.
I've been practicing with Valks and jump spells since the new jump spell upgrade. Which has been kind of cool because you can funnel.
How about this? Let's take a break from talking about whatever we're talking about, which Boaz isn't even talking about, and you're not even talking about because I'm the one talking.
Well, let's start. I'm in the middle of an intense raid here on my Town Hall 8.
Okay.
I realized I spent all my elixir on my archers, and so then I don't have any elixir to make dragons for the war.
Oh, no.
And so I was like, oh shit,
no.
I need to quick get some elixir. So yeah, sorry about that. I had
no.
a little raid
you
break
go ahead
there.
and raid.
That happened to
Go ahead and raid.
today.
Let's talk about the jump spell because that's one thing.
I'm curious.
Let's talk about that's the one thing in the new update that I haven't used the jump spell since I first got them.
Yeah, I've been playing with it.
But what's the difference and how does it work and is it cool?
It makes the troops follow the path of least resistance. So it's not going to suck the troops in, but if you destroy stuff around it, and it basically says to
Here's
the
a
wall.
path.
It says to the wall, okay, here's your
To the
next
windows,
defense.
to the walls, skeet, skeet, skeet.
Right.
People know that song.
So
Skeet, skeet, skeet all over the walls, or the thousand kittens.
So imagine
Kittens licks on my balls.
Yeah.
Or is that how it goes?
Something like that.
these. So you put the jump spell, and it basically treats the wall like it's not there. So your troops, if it's around it, to get to the next thing, it will go into the jump spell.
And is that awesome?
Yeah.
That's the question. It sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And I heard about it before the update, and maybe you and Boaz talked about it. That was right around the update and stuff. But I haven't heard any backup because we've been doing Zod and L stuff.
Right.
How did this guy get out of here? We got to lock that cat up.
Red one upstairs.
The dog opened the door to the bedroom to let the cat out. God damn it.
They're in cahoots.
Yeah, they are.
Well, he was in there whining, so we had to lock him up.
The thing is you don't want to use just one jump spell. You want to use a few jump spells.
A few, more than two. Not just one, 3?
You can be.
And just get him right into the middle?
Yeah.
Like in a line, like
yeah, the leapfrog.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, but you gotta let him you gotta let the one jump spell wear out, and then put another one. Or do you want to just jump spell so those guys that you're dumping?
If you want it to be like there's nothing, if you want it to follow something, you can follow defenses right on in. If the closest building is a defense.
Oh.
And so if you're using like golems or giants, then you can really guide where they're going to go because they're going to go for the defenses.
Works pretty good.
Is that like a feminine hygiene product? That's what it sounds like.
Golem Vagi or vagina or
Golem, Valkyrie, Giant, Wizard.
You said it, man.
Golem, Valkyrie, Giant, Wizard combo is been
Go Vagi.
That's been kind of a cool one, depending on the right camp.
Is that like the no-no?
Because I'll hit some. I've hit, I've played with golems, and then I played with golems and giants, and it just depends on the camp, what type of camp you're going to hit, and the settings on like the Inferno Tower and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you can get it in there, depending on how defenses are set up, I mean, it's you wipe out the center.
And I'm guessing heroes are a good thing to use with the jump spell.
Yeah, because if you throw them in with it, they're going to follow.
Get in there, and then
it's a way to steer things.
And then you hit the thing. Now, that's fun, getting into the center, right? When I'm doing my dumping my wizards and witches, usually I can get them. I can steer those right in the middle. Because wizards will walk towards the middle and shoot shit on the sides of them, and keep going center, like maybe not as a group, but as groups. They will. They're not going to stay all together. They're going to split up and fan out. but then they'll shoot the shit because they're ranged.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're not going to go all weird like dragons. And then they'll come back together and move in and range again because as you get into the center, it's more clustered usually. So all of a sudden, I've spelled my way into the middle, and all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of witches and wizards standing in the middle of this base, just blasting it from all sides. And they knocked out not a quarter. They couldn't get in that well. Maybe a third. A third of the base is done as they got to the middle, and then they just wipe it out from the middle. And you're oh no, there's one cannon in the very end that you can't get. And you're like, hey, just walk over there. Yeah. And you're like, oh yeah, all these barbs are just walking around the outside coming in.
So what do you guys think of the new hero abilities? So what happened is that the lower levels got a little bit. Well, the king's hit points went down, or his damage per second, right?
And, actually, one of the guys in my clan gave me a graph. I should send it to you guys. You can put it on the website or something. It's a graph of the hero abilities, like the way they were overlaid and the way they are, and you can see like the trend, the line going up and it's pretty. It's pretty interesting, and the whole premise and what Supercell said in that update preview that we read was that the new abilities are supposed to make up for all of the loss of hit points and DPS and everything, and I think at the lower level, like with mine are like my Barb King's 15 and my Archer Queen's like 13 or something, and it's really nice there at those levels, especially the Archer Queen's damage, because her damage was so low before compared to the Barb King and everything.
She wasn't that great, but
she helps. That's why she's been behind him.
And the difference now is that the king heals too.
Yeah, and
that's fucked up. Now, let's explain to me what the new hero powers are.
So they, I wonder if I have it still up on my phone.
The king regenerates in Iron Fist mode. He doesn't. His hits per second, or damage per second, I believe, went down, but what happens is that when you hit the button, he starts to regenerate, and he generates more barbs too, I believe.
Yeah, he generates twice as much barbs.
Okay, that's awesome.
And at the high levels, it's not as strong.
Is it still a rage spell for him?
Yeah, it's still a rage spell,
and he regenerates. Yeah. But his damage and his hit points are less. But when you hit it, he rages. So his hit points not his hit points, but his damage goes up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And not his actual, like when he's swinging his sword.
That's the question.
That is not those, but he's got more barbs, and the rage is still going. So the rage for the barbs that he generates and any other barbs is still there, but he doesn't rage. No, he rages.
No, he does too. Yeah.
Okay, but the rage is not as much.
I think it is. I think the rage stayed the same. It's the weird thing for me to get used to is the heal, because with the Barb King, I would even activate the ability like before he even gets to anything to get him to hurry up and get to where he's going.
Me too. I would drop a bunch of barbs, and I would drop him, and then I would start dropping more barbs, and I would hit that just so he ran into the wall.
Because he walks so slow.
Yeah, but now you want to wait till
you want to wait until he's right in there. So that he starts
that he's taken some. That you want to wait till he's already taken some damage.
Yeah, you got to keep an eye on him now.
But which also puts your barbarians at a bigger risk, because you get hit by a couple mortars and half of them are gone.
So, I want to have a spell that slows down time so that I can take 6 minutes at half speed to get this shit. To get this
twice as bad.
To suck twice as bad. Yeah, to make this shit happen. Well, I always thought
we are at less than 40 minutes till war begins.
We were talking about
T minus. Let's see here. T minus 25 minutes, and I have no dragons. Sorry, guys, need to raid again here. But yeah, that's the weird thing is like there's so many different things to keep track of, especially like in a hog attack. You only really have to keep track of your hogs.
Because you've already killed the CC, your heroes are dead, or there's enough troops on the board in one corner that they are going to die, and then you drop your hogs from the other side and you start watching them.
Yeah, and like I usually just like as halfway through the attack, then I'm like, oh crap, and I quick activate the hero abilities without even really looking at them, because I'm paying attention to the hogs. I used to just do it right away.
Like I drop my 20 barbs, put my king down,
and I always waited
to go kill their troops, and I just hit it, and then
I do it right away because I use it to kill their heroes and their clan castle troops. And
then actually, I think Boaz, I think you told me this. Save your queen to put down maybe on the other side of the battle. You told me that, and so I started doing that instead of just dumping them all right by the CC troops, just to kill them all, and then they can do whatever. They can come in from that side and kill whatever. I started keeping my queen as a cleanup from somewhere else, from some other quadrant. And it totally depends
what clan castle troops they have, too. Because if they have something in the air, then I'm like, oh shit, now my Barb King can't do anything. I hope that my, witch or my queen and wizards and stuff can handle the
way back
dragons.
when I was doing a hog attack, I had 20 barbs, 20 archers, 10 minions, king and queen, clan castle, rest for hogs.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You got the 20 barbs to try to draw people out, and I got to get the king and queen over there. The hogs, you were putting them in to keep them out, and then it worked because you had enough. They came out if it was a dragon. Minions can kill a dragon because you put them in a circle, and the dragon's going after one at a time, and the minions are all spitting on them.
I've been doing the drive-bys,
and then you put the archers
when the clan castle troops come out. If they're coming along, and if you wait till they start to get past, and then even I've seen mine fall in line behind them because
I love that especially sneaking up behind a witch when her skeletons are all in front of her, and you're like, bloop, just appear behind her.
I loved that when I first figured that out with my minions and a king. When the king starts walking out of the middle, like, I'm gonna kill that one archer way over in the corner, and you drop two minions, and they're just following behind him, spitting out.
It kind of gives you a reason to upgrade.
And then the king kills the archer and just stands there.
No, he starts to like giants and stuff stand there.
Yeah, and he starts walking back in all slow, and there's just minions just spitting acid on him.
And you drop another archer after he gets all the way back.
And he's like, "What? I better go back out there and get that archer." Those things are flying around the air. There's bugs and shit. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, that it was really fun doing a hog attack.
Back in the day.
Just this past war, because when I've done them lately, it's been a real pain in the ass with those heroes, because sometimes they can outrun the heroes, but if you don't have a freeze spell, then the heroes usually are just going to kind of.
And now
especially
it's people changing. Like with my loot camp, is I put the heroes near the storages that I want saved. Because then you avoid it.
I really haven't used free spells, and I think I'm probably going to use one this time to go against Scotty, or maybe I won't go against Scotty. Maybe I have different plans.
You gotta go. You guys gotta go against each other here.
It's so crazy that we're the same number. Like this, not only.
You're both number 3.
Yeah. Right. Not only does miracle match happen, but we're our same number. I mean, we've always had recently in the new clans is attack your number, not recommended target. That's stupid. Same number, or do your thing. But we're the same number.
That's cool, and also the. Number 1 in the House of Zod is number 2 in the House of El.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. So I think the matchups like across the board are pretty good. It's going to be, but you guys have more Town Hall 10s than we do.
One more Town Hall 10, I think.
And we are going to beat the shit out of you. Jerk-offs.
Well, I was just saying this to Scotty.
By the time the fans listen to this, it's already going to have happened. This episode. Well, I don't know. Maybe it'll get out.
These will be going up tonight.
Maybe. Okay, both of them will go up tonight. So Zod, fuck these guys.
Oh wait, we have some Town Hall. Oh yeah, there's our guy Tyler, the Town Hall 10, who's below a Town Hall 8. I just love that.
I know that Tyler needs to attack like Town Hall 6s.
Jeez,
he's had some problems earlier, and we're gonna make it happen. He rushed his Town Hall.
That is quite a rush job.
He really rushed it, and his
gray wall. Yeah. No offense, Tyler, but your level 4.
He knows what happened.
Town Hall 10.
He knows exactly what he did, and we've talked to him about it. It's all good. We've helped him on his. He's a newer player who rushed, so we're like, hey, listen, this is what happened. This is how you.
Really, the best advice you can give to
damage control at this point. Like, okay, start upgrading your troops.
Well, because the best advice you can get to someone in that situation is to start over. Is to make a new account and start from the beginning.
Because getting loot is
that's the thing.
Actually, the first piece of advice I would give to somebody in that situation is to upgrade your resource production.
Your
mines get that maxed out. Get storage maxed out.
Good point.
And then go for your troops and your I don't know, upgrade everything. That's my
because your defenses at that point are so spread thin. You know what?
Or spend about $800 on gems to try to at least catch your defenses up to Town Hall 8 level or so, and then take it from there.
Yeah, Boaz, we got to take a quick break.
Let's cut it here. Where are we at?
45.
That's an episode. Gang, we'll be back with the next episode with Boaz, talking about Clash of Clans, House of El versus House of Zod. It's going to be fucking phenomenal.
Ridiculous. Clash of Clans podcast.
ClashClansPodcast.com. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows
it.
WBSMT
Radio.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep
it Clashy.
42427 Clash.
What was that? Somebody's saying something.
42427
Skilly beep 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 skilly beep.